Last month I read A Dance of Lies by Brittney and I give it 4 stars on Goodreads. This is the very gorgeous Fairy Loot edition. Like, very gorgeous. The book was a really fun read. It is full of politics, secrets, lies. You don't know who the main character can trust, and there's 2 to 3 potential love interests throughout that I'm like, you just don't know who she's gonna end up with. I really enjoyed the artful dance and the stained glass imagery that was throughout the story. It brought some beauty to a pretty dark story. I also found that reading from the point of view of a main character who's going through rough health issues was a really refreshing take on the classic female heroine that we see in fantasy novels. One small thing that did bother me about this book was the level of fantasy. This is advertised as a fantasy book, and until the end, very close to the end, this could just be set in a different time in our world or a parallel world. There were no fantasy elements, and I really, like, when I read fantasy, I want fantasy elements. I want creatures or settings or magic or something. And it wasn't until the very end that there was a fantasy element brought into the story. But I do believe the next book will have more of that fantasy element that I'm looking for, and I do plan on continuing the series. But that is something to note if you like higher fantasy in your reading. A big thank you to NetGalley and Random House Publishing Group for the e-arc in exchange for my honest review. I really enjoyed it, and even so much that I got myself this beautiful copy. Thank you.